Oh, Ola's here. Hey, Ola.
Hi.
Hi, Ola.
Hi there. How are you?
You looking good, Ola?
Not too
You're
bad.
looking for 4 o'clock in the morning.
Not too bad for 4 o'clock.
Wow.
So.
I was just saying to Mel, Ola, that I've got 11 positions to discuss. Okay. And there's 6 variations altogether. So on the first 2 positions, I have 2 variations each.
Okay.
And there's a variation on a primary versus prime one, and another variation on the one-man back. So there's 2 hit or not hit. The first 2 are hit or not hit, and I'll be able to explain that in detail. I've got a lot of explanation there, so people will understand.
Okay.
And the 6 prime in positions I have, they're good ones I picked out, and 3 one-man back positions as well. And I'm making them all double match point positions, so that, because this is all about timing, it's not about match score or cube, it's about making the best play that wins the most games. Okay, so I didn't want to take away from the timing of the position, because it's all about helping people, beginners and intermediates, see what timing is and how it represents the right plays.
Okay, sounds perfect. Sounds great.
Oh, look, you know, I'm happy with what I've done, put it that way. I just hope people can go away with something with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've activated this option so you can share your screen. Do you want to test it?
I'll test it, please. Yes.
So on the bottom margin, you have a screen sharing. So maybe we can.
Oh yeah, I got it. Okay, I'll click that. Yep. Okay, share. Yep. Okay. So that would be my. So I'm now sharing my screen. Can you see? You guys can see me, okay?
Yeah, we can see you fine.
Yep.
So I would have to shrink that just so I can keep the border. You can hear me, okay? Can you guys?
Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Well, if anything changes in terms of audio or visual, just let me know and we'll switch it back to you, because I've sent you those positions.
So it's being recorded right now. So welcome everyone to this second Backgammon Sunday lesson with Mick Dyett from Australia, and he's going to be giving us everything. I mean, all the insights and awareness tips we need to be able to manage through timing in Backgammon. So we will have much more clarity on what timing means and how it plays in our decision making while playing. So thank you so much, Mick, for preparing this lesson. It's going to be an interactive discussion. So Mick will guide us through different positions, and he will, it will be an open discussion every time. So just feel free to step into the chat. So about this, I would recommend everyone to mute themselves, just because, of technical reasons. Just mute yourself whenever you're not talking, and whenever you want to, just unmute and then mute again when you finish. So, we're on the safe side, technically speaking, and we can all hear each other well. So your turn now, Mick. I think I've said everything. Yeah, maybe this event is brought to you by the World Backgammon Federation. I think it's worth mentioning. And the Sundays are targeted mainly to intermediate and beginners to improve their play. There will be one session every month. One is Australia based, as it is this time. Next time it will be based in the US, so maybe it can be Australia friendly too. And the next one in Europe, and then back to Australia, etc., etc. So we can cover, the whole world. All the sessions are recorded. So last time we had we shared positions with Thomas Tendon. So it was mainly about sharing our insights and what is our best move with him. So it was pretty, casual and very pretty cool, pretty nice talk. and this is recorded too. So if any of you would like to have a look at this, to watch this session, please let me know. I will send you the video. All right, I've said everything. Your turn, Mick.
Thank you, Ola. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of the pitch here so I can see my board. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Backgammon Sunday. I've put together a collection of positions that I hope will help you understand what timing is and how it should influence our decision-making when looking for the correct play. Now, just as a side note, I love helping other players improve their game. So please feel free to join in the discussion for each position. Okay, so this is the first position. Actually, I have 11 positions altogether. This is the first two are to hit or not to hit. They'll have 6 on prime versus prime, and I have 3 on one man back. And they're all geared towards helping you understand what timing is in the game. So this first position, if you just have a good look at it, and please, before I say anything on it, if you can offer your thoughts and your thought process on this position and what play you would make, and especially why. So whoever wants to start off. It's certainly an interesting position, and
I would hit on my 5 point.
okay, and your thinking behind that, Mel, that leads you to that decision?
Mel, we
Lucky
can
Mel.
Yeah. You've just muted yourself, Mel.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, I would lock him out.
Okay, so you'd attack loose?
Yes,
Pardon?
I would also hit loose, because basically, I mean, if I don't, then I give him the opportunity and initiative to do so. He's got his 6 prime already built, so it's not a risk I can afford, I feel.
Oh, sorry, guys. Okay, so the position is 3-1. So are you saying that you'd play 9 to 5 and hit and put him on the bar? Is that correct?
Yes.
What you're saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you look, yep. And Mel?
Same
Yes,
thing.
that's the same.
Okay,
Yeah.
does anyone else have any other ideas from this? Any other players? Anyone else who wants to?
I think we're not enough down in the race to afford not to hit. I think we have to hit, because otherwise we give him too many chances to win by catching up in the race.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I
And
guess that we're up 13 pips after the roll, so we can just play to 3, for example. Then we're significantly ahead.
okay, so if we hit, we're 13 pips up after the race. Well, I mean, like whatever we do, we're 13 pips up after the race. So,
to be safe, you can go 7 to 4.
correct. That's a safe play. Bold play is to hit loose and offer 11 shots from the bar, or to play safe and maintain 13 pip lead. Any other thoughts?
You don't want him to escape.
This
Sorry, Mel?
this session is about timing,
Exactly.
and so we're ahead in the pit count, so the opponent has better timing. So if we don't hit now, he will probably stay on the 5 point, and because he wants to have contact, and he can move his checkers on his side of the board. But if he stays on the 5 point, it gives us the opportunity to hit him and then run off, and we have a 5 point board. I wouldn't hit now, because if we hit and he hits back, we lost the game, because he's got a full prime. That's my thinking.
Okay, nice. Yes, and it's good, and it's important that I get the thinking behind the play that you want to make. Was there anyone else before I went through my analysis of it?
It's also DMP, so potentially you're not risking. You're not risking being cubed out. So there's even still slightly more turnaround play than for money, and there aren't gammons to be lost. The race, you have more crossovers as well, so the race is perhaps not quite as confirmed as we think it is. So I would hit.
Okay, all right. Anyone else? Okay, so I'll go through the analysis that I wrote. Okay, so the first question you normally ask yourself as white or black is, what's my game plan? Okay, white's game plan is just to win the race. Black's game plan is to win the race by either rolling well from here or getting the shot and hitting it. That black is behind in the race, as somebody said, means that black has the timing. Yes, that's the timing in this position. This timing allows black to sit on white's 5 point and wait for the shots to come. Unless he rolls big doubles, challenge the race, he'll just sit there waiting for the shot. The timing advantage allows him to do this and greatly increases his winning chances. Back to white. White must decide whether his 9 pip lead is enough to play safe and risk leaving the shot later. Or if it's not enough, which means he will have to put black on the bar, which gives black the 11 shots to win the game, basically. If white puts black on the bar and black misses, and white's a monster favourite to win. Okay, let's have a look and see what XG said. And the good news is, everybody's right.
Hi.
Because the first position that I chose was a borderline position, where 9 pips in this length race, it really doesn't matter which way you play it. Okay, so everyone was correct. Okay, so whatever play you made, even though it's 0.012, that's so small it doesn't really matter. Okay, so that being the case, okay, 9 pips is enough so that both these plays are equal. What about if we put black's checker? If we put this on the 10 point to the 9 point, so we're giving white 3 more pips. Sorry, we're taking away 3 pips of timing. Okay, so white's now only 6 in front. So the answer there, any takers?
Now it's even more imperative to hit.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. Because he's now only 6 pips behind. Because if 9 pips behind was borderline to hit or not to hit, then 6 pips behind is definitely the case to hit. So now we'll see that it's not close. It's quite clear the hit is a lot more correct now. And if we go the other way, okay. So if we go this way here, then obviously it's any offers?
Just play safe.
12, sorry, it should be 12. So that's 3 pips, just play safe, exactly. The safe play is clearly correct. Okay. So that's the...
So how many pips, how many pips ahead, how many pips ahead do you need to be to feel like you can play safe?
Yeah, yeah. In this position, it was 9 and 9 pips on a race of 83. 9 pips was either way. It's in a straight race. That's a double and a take. 9 pips. So and in a straight race, this would be a pass with 12 pips behind. So it's anybody has extreme gammon is one of the best tools I've ever used. It what I've got set up here is where you can set up positions, and using variations I find is very, very helpful in working with the game, because it allows you to do things that I've just done here now. Does that help with the person who asked me that? Was it you, Breck? Is that you, Breck? The person just asked me that question.
How far ahead?
Yeah, I'm in this position. It was 9 pips. 9
Wow.
pips in 9 pips in front of this position, because 9 pips is break even for the for either play. It doesn't matter which play you make, because of the threat also too. I mean, like it's not far enough ahead in the race that black's shot equity is huge as well. Both his shot equity and his racing equity put together is huge. But when white's 12 pips ahead, he's far enough ahead in the race that he's not going to worry so much about the shot equity, because he's so far ahead in the race. Sorry. Hello, is someone talking there?
Yeah, it was Fernando's microphone that was open. I muted him.
Oh, that's okay. All right.
Hey, Mick.
I'll go to the second position, which is
Hey,
similar
Mick,
to
wasn't there a percentage?
Sorry?
Like, wasn't it like 12% of the race or something like that, or 15% of the race, like the borderline, so you can use this for other positions?
Yeah. So I think I got that. Okay, so this isn't a straight race. So the fact that black does have the time in, that does allow him to stay back. So what's the question? Sorry again.
My question?
Yes, sorry. Is that Daff, is it?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Like I can hear myself in echo.
Okay, I can hear you now. I was breaking up before though.
Okay. So what I was thinking about the previous position, wasn't there like a percentage, like 12% or 15%, that if you're more behind in the race, that's when you hit? If you're less behind in the race, then you play safe? Wasn't there a percentage
exactly.
of the race? Was it? Do you remember what percentage it was?
It's basically 9 pips behind in the race, which was a borderline, but anything over that is going to make it a stronger case to hit, or anything less than 9 pips is going to make it a stronger case to play it safe. Okay. Sorry, is that okay, Daff? You're right there. Okay.
Yeah, all good.
Okay. Did that answer your question? Did it? Oh. Okay. So yes, position 2. Okay. Position 2 is it's a similar theme where the game plan basically for both players is racing. Okay. So what's people's ideas on this one? On this play?
Yeah, so guys, so just because there has been newcomers in the meantime, just so you know, everyone is muted for technical reasons, so we can hear each other the best possible. But now you can unmute yourself. This is an interactive discussion, so you're totally free, to unmute yourself and express yourself whenever. And yeah, basically, Mick is sharing these positions, and we can just say, our thoughts. So please unmute yourself and share your analysis.
I would hit. Can you hear me?
Yes, yep, I can hear you. You'd hit.
I think I would hit because if you don't hit here, and he passes, he's way ahead, it seems. We have 10 checkers compared to his 7. And I think if we don't hit here, I think he will scoot over and he could win very easily. I mean, it's not a given, but
Okay.
that would be my opinion.
Oh, look, I mean,
Billy?
it doesn't matter whether it doesn't matter whether you're wrong or right. What's important is your thought process and how you come to that. That's what's important more than anything else. Okay,
I think that it slows down his timing. Is that the better way of saying it?
Okay. Yep. So, as opposed to the other position, if you do hit, okay, one of the big differences here is that instead of black having 11 shots, he now has 15 return shots.
I would not hit here.
Because
I would play safe, because even though the race is basically even, and in positions like this, you usually want to stop the last back checker escaping. We have also cleanly escaped all our back checkers, so we're more in a ultra conservative, I guess, formation. Also, when he doesn't escape with a 1, 2, or 3, we have plenty of builders to point on him next time. So play safe for the one move. He can't anchor, you can attack in future, and the race is relatively even.
True, the race is relatively even. Yes, that certainly makes sense. And as well as whenever white does decide to hit, black does have the 15 return shots rather than the 11 as in previous position. But there's another big difference here as well.
Much stronger board.
Sorry?
Black has a much stronger board, so there's more danger when hit back.
Oh, no, well, he had the closed board in the last position pretty much. Had the 6-point prime in the last position.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's true.
But the other difference with this position as opposed to this line is that black's shot equity has just gone right down. Okay, so so he's more inclined to just want to get out and about and race now. You know, he's 5 pips up in front of the race, and he's not going to get too many shots. But I suppose the question is, how far behind does white have to be in the race to make it a hit? Let's have a look what XG says for this one. And I know what it says, but like a drum roll. Once again, the first position, again, is break even. So with white being 5 pips behind in the race, it doesn't matter whether he plays it safe or he hits. Okay, both those players are correct, whichever way he decides to go. So, and just to move a checker around, we'll move the checker from black's 8-point to down on his midpoint, and the race is even. So what would be the right play now?
Play safe.
I'd say the same play too.
So as a clue, okay, when white was 5 pips behind in the race, when he was 5 pips behind in the race, it was a borderline whichever play he made. So now the race is even. So now the race is even. What would last position tell you about what the play should be for this position?
I guess you have to hit.
No, play safe, 14-8.
Okay, so in the last position, white was behind the race by 5 pips. Okay, and it didn't matter whether he hit or didn't hit, it was the same. So if he's a bit further up in the race and the race is even, this will put him 6 pips up in the race. So whoever said don't hit was correct. Okay, and it's by a long shot. So there's a 14-8 is a correct play because the race is even. White will be 6 pips up after this. And conversely, when I put here, when I put one of his checkers on here down to here, okay, and that puts White down 8 pips behind the race, what should that be? What play should White make on his 5-1?
That would be a definite hit, I guess.
Sorry,
This would be a definite hit, I suppose.
correct, a definite hit. Absolutely. Okay, I showed you the first position, so because it was a borderline one, and then I showed you the other two, just so you know what side of the coin you're on. Okay, so there's definitely the hit when it's 8. So because if you know 5 pips behind is either way, then if he's further behind, it's definitely a hit. If he's not as far behind, like an even race, then it's better to play safe. Okay, prime versus prime.
It's impressive that hitting was a blunder in the position when the race is even.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, exactly, because White hasn't got the same desperation to put black up on the bar because he's unlikely to ever leave a shot. That was a danger in the first position because White's position was so stripped in the first position that if you counted the rolls up, you would find so many rolls that would leave a shot. And Black had the timing in that first position. And White was stripped everywhere and had lost all his timing, and he was about to leave a shot. So the hit, it wasn't just about the race, it was also about, trying to get those other men into safety.
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Oops. No, sorry, this is the wrong one. That's the next. Here we go. Okay.
Oh,
Okay, so timing is critical for a successful priming game, which this is. This is a prime versus prime game. Because timing in a priming game, it allows us to hold our prime and force our opponent to break his. The game plan is to win the priming battle. The method is to get the timing. Okay, so comments on this one, please. Thoughts behind the play that you would make?
I play 3-1, 11-10, because if you get hit, you don't want to be rolling. You want to be holding your 6 prime. So if you get missed, you cover potentially, maybe not. But if you get hit, it doesn't matter because you can sustain your prime for longer whilst you're on the bar.
Any other thoughts on this too? Like others want to give their thoughts?
I'm with Alec.
I think I agree with what he's just said.
You want to use your 6 to break to get out of his prime. So that's the only way. If you go to 3-1, you need a double 6. You want to get your piece out and to cover as well. I'd just go 11-8 or something like that. Or even 7-6, 7-5. Oh no, sorry, you wouldn't do that. I'd just go 11-8 and wait for a 6.
Okay. Anybody else? Yeah. Well, they're pretty much the two plays. It's either slot the 1 point and move 11-10, or it's 11-8. Any others that would like to make a comment on what their thinking would be for this move?
I think you have to play 3-1 so that if he hits you, he will basically have to break his board while you have that 6-point prime.
Okay, so the prime in battle is all about timing. Okay, so in this position, white needs a 6 to escape. And if white rolls a 6, it's happy days. He's out of there. You know, otherwise he's starting to run out of time, and that's the problem. Black is happy to be on the bar. Black doesn't want to come in, not because he wants white to roll a 6, but because he doesn't want white to roll a 6, and he wants white's timing to crack so that his board cracks. But if actually I'll show the right play first. Show the right play. 3 to 1's correct, and it's correct by a monster amount. Okay, it's a huge blunder not to play 3 to 1. And the reason we play 3 to 1 is so that we're making a play for the timing. Because if black does happen to roll the 1, then all of a sudden he comes in, he's got to play his other roll somewhere. 1-5's terrible for him. Yeah, 1-4 or 1 anything. The fact that he hits this is bad for white. And what that does, when he hits this, when he hits white, it hands white back the timing, because now white goes on the bar against a 5-point board, and black's forced to move his checkers over there. So the reason white slots his 1 point is in the hope that black will hit him. Because otherwise, if white doesn't roll a 6 very soon, he's going to find his board's going to crack. Because at the moment, while black's on the board, while black's on the bar, black has the timing because he doesn't have to push his position forward.
I have a question.
Sure.
If I agree that we should slat, say we slat and he rolls, he stays on the bar, do we offer the cube?
Well, I didn't want to bring cube into this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That's why, I mean, like, I just wanted to make it all about timing.
Oh, I see. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And I know, no, that's okay.
That's fine.
And that's why I made all the positions double match point, because besides a cube, I also didn't want to include match play. I just wanted to make them double match points, because that way I could focus solely and wholly on timing and what play is the best play to make.
I didn't understand. Okay.
But just to answer your question, so you're saying that so if white comes in, if we slot the 1 point, and then black hits us.
No, if
we
black
go,
doesn't hit.
Sorry?
If
black
does not hit.
Okay, so if black doesn't hit, do we cube? There's no, I would not be cubing that, no, because I don't think we've got enough time to offer the cube. It would certainly be a really easy take, but no, we would definitely cube though if black hit us, and he'd have a pass. I'm sure he'd have a pass.
Okay.
If he hit us. Yeah. Okay, so moving away from that, was there? So everyone's happy with that then? Why the 1 point gets slotted? Because it actually helps white get timing.
Hey Mick, that makes sense. Presumably then, if you slot the 1 point, and then black doesn't hit, you don't want to cover it. You don't want to cover it until you've managed to hop out with the 6,
exactly.
right?
You don't want to cover it. Yeah, you don't want to cover it at all. No, you want to jump out. You don't want to cover it with the 6. That would be, I mean, like, well, go to the bottom of the class if you did that. Yeah, no, your 6s are going to be played out. All it does is give you more time. What it does is you're hoping that black hits you. You definitely don't want, unless you may be forced to cover it, with the checker on the 11 point because you can't get out with the 6s. So be it, but you're still buying time while you've got a 6 point board. But all you're hoping to do is roll a 6. And by slotting the 1 point, it buys you time when he hits you back with the 1. If you don't slot it and he does come in on the 1, okay, you're not going to get as much time as what you would have compared to if you had the slot there. Does that make sense, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. So enough of the easy ones. Number 3. Go to prompt 2. Okay, right. Okay. All right, this is an interesting one. People's thoughts, please, on what double two by white.
Make the 7 point.
Make the
I would make
bar
the,
point.
yeah, I'd make the 7 point.
Okay. And the reason is?
It make the 7 point, then a 5 prime, and you block escaping sixes.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else like to have a comment on this position?
It's either that or hit.
Correct. They're the two choices. We either hit or we make the 7 prime. Oh, so make the 7 point, which is a 5 prime. So what are your thoughts,
Actually,
Mel?
I think hitting's better. I think hitting's better because he could well make his 7 point.
Okay. So one for hitting, one for making the 5 prime. Any other thoughts out there before I explain?
I think, yeah, but isn't there a space in a single checker open? So aren't we just delaying him making it and burning a checker?
Sorry, what was that again?
If we hit him, aren't we just delaying? It seems like that we're burning our board because now we've created a space and we don't have any covers to cover that single checker, and he can still have time to make his 18 point. I mean, his,
Okay,
his
his
7
bar
point, I mean.
Okay, so if I understand this, you're saying that if we hit, he still has time to make his bar point.
Yeah, because if he comes in, I mean, we have a space and an open checker.
Okay,
If he doesn't come in, it's probably good, but if he does,
okay. So, all right. In the prime versus prime battle, which is as we see what's going on here, if you don't have the timing, you need to switch to an attacking game. If you don't have the timing. Now, if we have a look at this position, okay, white is 10 pips in front of the race, which means that black has the time in here, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
I think so.
Sorry, I was just talking to the lady that was talking to me before. So you see how white doesn't have the timing that black does because of the race. So if you don't have the timing, what you need to do is you need to switch to an attacking game. And the reason is that if you try to prime with less timing, your prime's going to break before your opponent does. And I know that we get the 7 point now, but black's got 4 builders. Black's got the timing. He'll be 18 pips behind in the race, which is timing in these prime versus prime games. So, and he's got 4 checkers bearing on his 7 point. You know, black's prime will hold up longer than what white's prime will because white just doesn't have the time for it. So because that's the case, I'll just show you the right play here. Show the right play. And these positions are hard to see. Because the position was set up specifically with the opportunity to make the 7 point, because it puts people in 2 minds. Okay, so the right play is this one here, and now you've got 2 builders for it. And one of the reasons why you do this is because black has the time. Look, there's 19 pips of timing. That's huge. The reason you do this is because while he's on the bar, he can't extend this prime. He's frozen. He can't play until he comes in again.
Got it.
And if he happens, and he may roll.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, so yes. So if he rolls a 1, well, so be it. Yeah, if he dances, that's even so much better. Even if he rolls a 2 something, that still gives you opportunity to either attack again or escape the back checker. You know, so the advantage in attacking here is all about the timing, because white hasn't got the time black has. So when you haven't got the time in and you're in a prime versus prime position, you would switch to an attacking play. Does that make sense, folks? Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Yep.
And it's not an easy play to see. Sorry?
That makes sense. It totally makes sense now that you explain it. So that's a double match point play. Would you do the same thing if there was a match?
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. Wouldn't think, yes, it'd be the right, this is the right play. I mean, like, whenever, whether you're playing for money, whether you're playing a match at any score, you know, you want to win this game. See, double match point plays are plays that you normally make in matches anyway, early in the piece and through it as well. You know, double match point play is the play that wins the most games. Okay, and yes, I would make this play in any score in a match and for money as well, because that's how you win against a bloke who's got the better time in the prime. You attack. So whenever you're playing a prime versus prime game, and you're the one that's running out of timing, attack, put him up on the bar and go from there. Look, you know, I mean, like, even if you're playing for money, it would probably be an even bigger mistake to make the 7 point because of all the extra gammons that you would win when he dances. He dances, you cover. He's got 3 blots outside there. So this would probably even be a bigger play to make if you're playing for money or if you're playing at a match, because he loses no gammons when he's playing double match point. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yep.
Hey, Mick, if the race was even, would that switch it to even to hit or make the bar point? At what point does it switch over to making a priming play?
Well, to make it even, we have to change the dynamic of the position. This is just a position where the race was 10 pips behind. I think there's a position coming up which will cover that. Actually, there is a position that will cover that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but for this position, it's the fact that he's got a double 2 to play, and he's considering, because a lot of people that didn't know to change to a blitzing game would make the 7 point because it just looks so nice and neat, not realizing that they're behind in the race. And it's important to know the status of the race when you're making these sorts of plays, because otherwise you can make a blunder or a really bad play. Yeah. Everyone's right with that, guys? Good. I've got a few more here to get through.
That was good.
This may go a little bit over, so I hope you're okay with that. I didn't realise that. Where are we? Okay, prime number 3.
Yeah, that was a good.
Okay. 6-1 to play. We've got a few choices here. So I just need to hear people's thoughts on.
Okay. No, just give me $1 million. No, it's good. Really good.
I would want to make the second point, 2 point.
Okay. Any input there from anybody?
I would want to make
hit on the 2 and hit on the 12.
A double hit.
Maybe.
Don't you want to prevent him from making the 2 point? If you hit on the 12 and put him on the bar, and then he can.
So how does White extend his timing here?
I think White needs to step up to the edge of the prime to escape, or if white hits,
I didn't think.
if white hits, white loses timing, because they then become ahead, further ahead in the race. I'm not sure where the 6 is. If you step up 24, 23, 13, 7, maybe, and because getting that third checker back is of paramount importance, but I'm not sure where the 6 is.
Okay, so your one, sorry, Alec, your one is where, mate? It's stepping up to the edge, is it?
Yeah, 24, 23, 13, 7.
Okay.
I
Right.
believe that making the 7 point would be a serious consideration here.
So, oh, sorry, did someone ask me something else? Okay, so 6-1, so we've got choices. Sorry, did somebody mention? I
said that we might consider making the 7 point here, because the race will be basically even. We don't want to play a prime versus prime with a bad race, and every time we go out or hit or something like that, then we'll give him more timing. So the best way to actually go in and try to prime him would be to make the 7 point, but it's not completely clear whether that's the best move, but it's definitely a candidate.
Okay, so if we make the 7 point, if we make this point here, the problem is that we're all out of time now. We give Black the opportunity to hit with a 6, and even if he doesn't hit a 6, he's got these 2 checkers here, which give him a lot of timing. So unless we roll a 6 really quickly, this is going to be forced to collapse really quickly. Okay, so like this position here. Okay, so Black's still got plenty of time to hit. Now he's got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus 6. He's got 16 pips of timing before Black's. Plus his 6s. His 6s come here. So if White may be lucky enough to roll a 3-1 or something and still keep the 5-point prime, but Black's 6s come out, and all of a sudden, because he escapes that checker, Black's now got not only this timing, but that timing as well. So Black can sustain a lot of rolls without having to break his board, whereas White, on the other hand, we make this play, and White doesn't roll a 6. He hasn't got many rolls that are going to keep the bar point, which is a critical point for him. So I would probably not go that way.
I think I missed the fact that you can escape fully. I saw 24 to 23, but I didn't. You can just come all the way out. 24 to 17. That spare checker represents timing, even when it's hit.
Okay, so we can play from here out here as well. Okay. Now the problem with that though, the problem with this play is he's now got ones. Look, we haven't got this point here. His Black's prime is much stronger than our prime. Okay, the 5s and 6s get him out. This just offers up 1s to hit and 5s to hit, and all of a sudden now, Black's fully in charge, and he's not going to worry about not hitting, because that gives him because when Black does hit, even though in terms of the race that's going to put us, back in the race, it's not going to be any good to us because our bar point is open and Black can just jump out with the 5s and 6s. He has all the timing in the world. See, this broken 5 prime is much weaker than a solid 5 prime. Okay, so I wouldn't. So I'll show you the correct play. Okay, this play here is the correct play, believe it or not. Okay, because it does put White in front of the race. Yes, the timing is also about getting these back checkers out as well. Okay, and hitting here rather than hitting here actually takes away more timing, because he's got more timing with this checker than what he does this checker. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Because when Black comes in now with the 1s or the 2s, he's only really got this checker over here. So if he's not, even if he does roll and fight, like to come in with a 5 or a 6, that's fine. Okay, we're just going to hit again, and all of a sudden the game's changing dynamics. It's no longer prime versus prime. It's like, get the hell out of there. You know what I mean? So by making that play, there's plenty of time to bring this up to the edge and come out. So if we just bring it out up here, we need to put him on the bar. Okay, and the reason the reason that we don't put him on the bar here, this play here, is because this is all the timing we have now. These three are trapped behind a 5'. We need to get something out now, because otherwise this is in danger of crashing our board. It doesn't matter if he dances. If we don't roll the sixes, we need 2 6s plus a 1 6, and we've only got this much time to do it. Otherwise, this starts cracking up, and we're gone. Oh, okay. Where is this? And okay, so does anyone have anything else they want to ask about this roll?
So you hit on the 12 rather than hitting on the 16, because
Correct.
hitting on the 12, you put him behind fewer pips. Is that
It reduces
the reason?
it reduces his timing with his spare checker. Okay, so when I say reduces his timing, so like if I make this play here, he can come in and he can use this. He's got more time here. So to get from here to here, he's got all that timing. Okay, if he can't get out. If we hit him here, okay, he's only got that amount. He's only got the 6 pips of time, as opposed. So it gives us more time. It's not an easy one, that one. And I remember when I was first shown it, you know, I was very unsure myself. It's all about the time. All right, guys, you ready for the next one? Hello?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay. Okay, double ones. So what's on this, please? Yeah.
Step up to the edge and cover the 2.
Okay, and your thinking on that is?
If you come in on the 24 and make, you're gonna run out of time. You're way ahead in the race, so you're gonna run out of time quicker than he is. First of all, your game plan should be to escape the last back checker anyway, because of your racing lead. And if you don't come to the edge, he has the timing advantage. So you'll crack first. That's my thinking.
Okay, so this position is a little bit deceiving in that the timing isn't anywhere near as bad as what it looks, and that is, Alec, that is why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you see why the timing's nowhere near as bad as what it looks in terms of the pip count? Because yes, because white is certainly ahead in the race, but
Black 6s are blocked, maybe, so they can't. No.
Black has 2 checkers back as opposed to white's 1 checker back. So this 24 pips of timing is just an illusion. He can't move these anywhere. He's got to play everything from here, assuming we make the right play. Okay.
So we make the full prime.
We make the 5 prime. Exactly. I'll show you the right play. Okay, so we make this point here. So these back checkers, so even though there's 24 pips of timing, this here is terrible. He's got some really bad sixes here. We still got 11, 12 pips of timing before we're even forced to break here. We've only got one checker back. Now his sixes play terrible for him. Like he's got 6-3, 6-4, 6-5, you know, double sixes. They're all really bad rolls for him. You know, double fives, double fours, you know, even double threes. They're terrible rolls for him because of these two checkers back. As it was like the amount of checkers your opponent has back behind your prime is normally a key indicator, you know, of the strength of the position. White has one checker back, black has two checkers back. White's got the 5-point prime, black's got a 5-point prime, but even if he gets lucky enough to extend it, it's not going to last for long because White's still got plenty of checkers of timing to play on his side of the board. So black's going to be cracking first, even though the race indicates that black's 32 pips behind in front of the race. Position actually it's different because of how many checkers that black has back as opposed to white, because these checkers aren't moving anywhere, both of them. You know, yeah. There's any questions on that?
That's a really good position, Mick.
Yeah, thanks, Steph. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. And that's the one I was mentioned before, Daff, that where you can be behind in the race, 32 pips in front of the race, but still the prime play is much better.
It deceived me. I didn't realize about the amount of checkers back, so that's really important to have a look at. Yeah,
exactly. Oh, yes. Oh, for sure. You know, normally in prime versus prime game, when you get into it a bit deeper, the three things you look at is how many checkers are behind the prime, okay, as opposed to your opponent, the length of your prime as opposed to your opponent, and one of the most important things then is the timing that you have. So yeah, but that's why he's got two checkers back and they're going nowhere, and this position is about to crumble forward. And White's got enough time with the 6 and the 5 and the 1. He's got 12 pips of timing, and White's got some really bad rolls that he can roll. He's got a whole heap of them, you know. And if he's not making this, I mean, like White can step up, you know, but he doesn't need to. If he can't, it doesn't worry him too much. But this position is much more brittle. It's more brittle than White's position. And if White hits you with the 1, you don't care. You know, I mean, like I'm not sure if he would hit you with 1. Okay, so there's that one. Everyone ready for the next one?
Yep.
Okay. I hope you guys don't mind going over a little bit. It won't be too much, but I've got 5 positions left.
Does it ever not?
Double. Here we are. Nice. Yes. Yes. Hello. Did someone call me?
Mick, it's David here.
Oh, hi, David. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Mate, have you ever not had anything you do go over time?
Correct, especially sleep.
Good on you, mate.
Thanks, David. So this next one's an interesting one. Double twos. Anyone like to give their thoughts on what they would do and why they would do it?
Hey, Mick, how you going?
Yeah. Oh, hey, Tony, how are you?
Good. Yeah, everyone's shocked on this one. You definitely got to go 24-22 with the first twos.
Yep. All I need is whatever play you would make and why you would make it. Because the why is important, Tone.
The why is because black figures to make a 5 prime right in front of you. So if he makes it up, you need to be on the 22 point.
Okay, so and your other two twos, where do they play?
Optional, I'm thinking 13-9 for the second twos to fill in the 4 point.
Okay. All right. Anybody else with some thoughts on what they would do and why that, and more importantly, why they would do it? Because it's always important to know to know the why.
Into 8, 6, into 4.
Sorry. Oh, okay. Yep. Making the 5 prime. Okay, and the reason behind that would be. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're wrong or right. The important thing is that what we put in is what we get out. So, you know, it's because I'm wrong many times, you know, and the only way to straighten your thinking up is by offering something and then working on it's different.
I can't see a reason not to make the 22 points. So you can make the 22 point, you neutralize his prime value. Yeah, 13-9, hitting with, I suppose, like 6s are somewhat duplicated for him after that, but the main value is to come up to the edge. I think that would be my play.
Okay, so you'd be coming up to the edge of a broken 4 prime then.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Oh, as in like coming up to the edge of his prime, 24-22.
Yeah, and then okay. So probably what's key to seeing this position, and it's probably and it's probably tough because we feel the what do you call it when you're scared of small spaces? Claustrophobia.
Claustrophobia.
Yeah, there's a little bit of claustrophobia about this play, and that's in predicting that he's going to make his 6 prime. But the point is, he hasn't made it yet. He's got a 33% chance of not even covering that checker on his 6 point. Making the 4 point, I'll show you the right play. And this is another one that's not easy to see too, because it's no use speculating he's going to make it. We have to look at the position at hand because he may not make it. Okay, so the correct play is to make the full 5 prime. Look how strong that is, and just a visual on looking at that, how strong that is. You know, because if we don't make it, we don't make it, and you know we may not get to make the 4 point. You know, this just is so much more solid now. He may not make that point, and even if he does, well, you know, we have him more squashed in than what we are because we've still got the 1s and 2s to come. We've got 2s to come up to the edge. He's only got 1s. We got 1s and 2s working practice. Yeah, so he has not yet made this point, and that's key. If he had have made that point, if he would have made that point, the call is really close. Either way, whether to come up or whether to just make the 4 point and then bring the 13-9 down. But because he hasn't made that point, that's the key feature of this position that tells us, well, you know, we got a really good solid 5 point prime here, and the timing is close enough, and he hasn't yet made his 6 point. So, say for instance, in this position, say black's on roll, and black rolls a 3-2. How would you roll? How would you make the 3-2 play? Oh, sorry. Okay. 3-2, 2-2.
Got to leave it there. It's the shot.
And that's the question. Do you lift it or not lift it? That's the question. And you're thinking, David, behind that play, buddy?
Oh, because he's just got to have the opportunity to prime your back.
Okay. So is there anyone else who'd like to contribute to this play?
It's a hard play to make. You're not going to be able to take no matter what you do.
Well, actually, David, these are all double match point plays.
Oh, right, okay.
Because I didn't want to bring the cube or match score into it, because I wanted to focus mainly or focus totally on double match point.
Yeah.
Okay. So anybody else want to have a go at the 3-2? Okay, so David, you're completely 200% correct, and you make it for exactly the reason that you said. The only way to defeat his prime is if you get a prime put in place yourself. It's the only way you're going to beat this position. Yep. So when you play the 3-2, because you play you play a 3 down and you bring the 2 in, because it's sorry, you leave it there. You leave the point there to make the position. We have one more prime in play left, and then I've got 3 one-man back positions. Okay, so as you can see, you leave the blot on the 7 point, and it's not even close to lifting it. It's like down in the dungeon. Okay, so nice. So let's open up the 6th one. This is one I came across the other day in a match. Okay, so people like to contribute to this play. Hello.
You've got to bring one up, and maybe 13-8.
Sorry.
You've got to bring one up from the back.
Yep, correct. Of course. Yeah, the other two definitely. It's the 5, which is the other play. We
I'd
can
probably
either
go
cover
13
to 8. Okay, so the 2 plays are to cover the 2 point, or to bring the 13 down to the 8 point. All right. Okay, Mel, and your reason for that is? Remember, the reason is important to understand. Yeah. Sometimes we can make the right plays for the wrong reasons or the right reasons. You know, it's always good to know why it is that we're making the play. Like
hit and cover.
Hit and cover. Okay, that's a second option as well. And your thinking behind that is? Hello.
Just continue, Mick.
Okay, so
I don't know what it was.
Okay, right. So yeah, well, the 2 is obvious because you've got to hit with the 2 to split from the back. The 5, you're right, Mel. It comes down to the 8 point, and the reason is it's once again, it's all about the timing. You know, White doesn't care if you hit on the 2 point. Well, actually, White wants Black to come in. You know, whether it gets hit or not, because Black's board's on the brink of extinction. His prime is on the brink of extinction. You know, so when he comes in, like if you cover the 2 point, the problem with covering the 2 point is that you then give Black the timing, because he's got a checker on the board. He's got a checker on the board against against the 5 point board, and the longer he takes to come in, the more timing he gets. So you actually want to encourage black to come in after you hit him, so that he can start moving his other checkers on the other side of the board, which will cause crackage in his prime. Does that make sense, guys?
Yep.
Okay, so next we go to one man back. Okay, let's go to one back now. I've got 3 one man back ones. All right. Okay, here's the first one. Okay, this is a 2-1 for white to play.
Mick, I think you must make the 6-point prime first, and then the only logical 2 would be the 6 to 4. I think no matter what you do, you must have your 6-point prime first before you roll it forward.
Okay. Yep. Okay. And any other thoughts on it from anybody about the correct play here?
Egon was definitely there.
I'd be really wanting to make that 3 points. So possibly 10-8, 6-5.
Okay. All right.
9,
So,
yeah.
okay. The problem with 10-8, 6-5 though is that it gives a good 1-6 to black.
Yeah.
Now I'll give a clue. Okay, about the right play here, and remember this discussion is all about timing. Okay, so the first thing we should be doing is looking at the timing of the position. So does anyone else have any ideas about what play they would make and why they would make it?
Hey,
Gotta
Mick,
play safe, I think.
Sorry?
look like you're way ahead in the race, so diversify the position, 9-7, 6-5.
Yeah.
Very nice tone. Exactly right, mate. Exactly right. Because black's so far behind in the race, he's not going to be in a hurry to get that checker off the 2-point and try to get out of there, even if he does roll his 1-6. You know, he's too far behind the race to race. So yes, you're right. So the reason you play 9 to 7 and 6 to 5 is that you're passing up on the 6 prime, but that's okay because you are diversifying checkers to try to roll this in easier. Like when you make the 6 prime 10 to 9, 6 to 4, it's a bit more brittle than what it is like 9 to 7 and 6 to 5.
Yeah.
You can roll it in easy. And like Mel said, you know, it gives you, I mean, like to make that 3-point would be great, and that play allows you to do that easily. And you can't hit the outside checker anyway. And if he rolls a 1-6, like I said, if he comes out, he's 23 pips, well, he's 26 pips behind after you make your play. So he's certainly not going to volunteer that. So because this position is like I said, it's all about the timing. And so the variant I have on this one is this here. So how would you play your 1-2 now?
Maybe now you make my play
Correct.
because he doesn't want to run.
Because
Daphne's play here.
Exactly, and because you saw it, like I mentioned in the last play, it's all about timing. Now white is behind in the race. Okay, by it'll be 8 pips after this race. So if we make the same play and black does roll the 1-6, you know, then he escapes, and white misses. Well, then it's, you know, so black has a lot more winning chances when he's further up in the race. He's going to want to get out of there. Yeah. So yes, you make the 6-point prime, and that doesn't allow him to go anywhere. Exactly, and that's why I put this variation up to show you the difference between the timing in the last one, where black had too much timing, and so white didn't need to make the 6-point prime, and as opposed to where you know, now white's got the timing, so he's got to be careful about, you know, giving black any sort of chance whatsoever to try to squeeze out of there and take the race off him. Okay, so 2 more left, guys. Sorry about holding everyone up.
No, this is great stuff. They're real brain benders.
Okay. Okay, against the 1 man back as well. White has a 2-1 to play. Any thoughts from anybody on this one?
I do not know.
Okay, so remember what the whole discussion's about? Timing.
Timing.
And this one's no different. This is all about timing, and how timing leads you to make the correct play. Sometimes the execution is not so easy, but so yeah. So what are some ideas what people would do?
6 to 4 and 11 to 10.
Okay, and the reason behind that?
I mean, threes are really good for him already, so I'm not that scared about being hit back, and also I will gain even more timing. Not that I really need that more timing, but I think I'm using all my figures very efficiently that way.
Nice. Okay, so yep. So that's one play. Is anybody else watching this who would like to offer their idea and what play they would make also?
Could you slot the 4 point and play 11-10?
Okay, and your reason, David?
I'm trying to build the prime before he's stepping up.
Yep.
If you split him, it's just open for a tap, and you're 20 behind in the race anyway.
Correct. You're open up for attack, and what you do is if you step up, okay, because you either step up or you slot. I mean, it's no use just not. I mean, like playing 11 to 8 or something. You know, you do like you said, you do it because you close the 6 point prime if he doesn't hit you, and there is a small duplication on threes as well because he's got 3-2 and 3-4 to make his 6 point prime.
Yeah.
So that he does duplicate some of his threes, and he's going to step up with that rather than so yeah, exactly. So slotting the 4 point because of the race again. White's behind 20 pips. White's behind in the race. So that's when he can slot, when he's behind in the race. Because after play, 20. Okay, so he'll be behind 23. Sorry, 17 pips behind. Yeah, and if black misses, he's also got. If black misses the shot, he's also got some awkward sixes as well. And the fact there's a duplication of 3-4 and 3-2 to either hit or make a 6 prime makes all the difference. Yeah, so slot in here. I'll just show the right place. Sorry, guys. Yeah, and because black is just like David said, because black is ahead of the race, that means he should be attacking. And if you just move up there, you're giving him exactly what he wants. Okay, one more position, guys. Last one's an easy one.
I've heard that before, Mick.
All right, easy.
Thirteen, 10, 2, 1.
Okay, and the reason is, that is very reason, man.
Oh, well, if he hits you on the ace point, at least he's primed.
Okay, no, that's okay. Yeah, I just Okay. So does anybody else have any ideas
I don't
about
know,
what
Mick. I'm not sure about that at all, though.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. Yep, yeah. Anybody else have any ideas of what they will play and why?
I agree with that one.
Okay. And Mel, the reason you agree with it's the same reasons that David mentioned?
Same reason, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And anybody
Did
else?
anyone think of playing 5-2, 5-4 because you're a bit in front?
That's the safe play.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. I like that too. I like that.
Not when your opponent rolls 5-5, though.
Not when your opponent rolls any 5.
Well, you're always laying something, but I mean, I've got a feeling I'd like to keep the. I've got a feeling I'd like to keep the prime, but that's not bad.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I like playing to the ace point too, Dave.
So what's your play, Tony?
This point, I think I'm going 5-2, 5-4 and play safe rather than dumping to the ace point, but I like dumping to the ace point as well.
And the reason why you go for one rather than the other is?
Because if he does hit, you're pretty much out of the match. And then if he misses, you're still alive.
Okay, does anyone else have an idea before I let XG show what he does? Is there anyone else who'd like to have a go at this?
I think I would have played over the board. I would have played 13-9 because I would see the slotted 2 point as a point that we want to make as opposed to moving 2-1. But now I hear the reasoning of 2-1. We'd rather be hit on the ace than hit on the 2. That does seem to make sense. So over the board, I would play 13-9, but with everyone's reasoning, 13-10, 2-1.
Yeah, because the problem with 13-9 is that if he does hit, we're going up the bar while he comes into the edge.
Yeah.
So if we're going to get hit, you'd rather him be back, not at the edge. So anyone else before I show this one?
I would also play safe here. I mean, we are ahead in the race, and he has a very strong 5 prime. It's double match point to just go for the wins.
So your play would be?
Let's just have 5 points, 5-2, 5-4.
Correct. That's the right play. Okay, and for exactly the reasons that you said, because we are in front of the race. Okay, we're 6 pips, so we'll be 10 pips up. We'll be 10 pips up after the race. So there's no need to leave any winning shots whatsoever when we're in front of the race. Remember, it's about the timing. So if we go back to this, and I put this one here on the 3 point, then what do we play here?
I think I would still play safe. It's probably wrong, but I would still play safe. I'd still play from the 5 points.
Okay, yeah. And the reason, Daph, is because you didn't want to get hit, put back behind his 5 prime?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yes,
Anybody
we're not up a lot in the race, but we still have good racing chances if he dances.
Yeah, so it'll be an even race with black on roll after we make our play.
Yeah, but he still has to come in.
Correct. Anybody else like to have a go at this one? Okay, so I'll show you the play in this one. I'll show you this one. Okay. So the timing dictates that we now come down and played a 2-1. Okay, so this is the right play now. If we make the safer play, the problem is now that we actually win a lot more of these games than what we do, obviously. And that's because now it's an even race. Black is on roll and our 5 points safe. So, you know, there's also a little bit of possible shot equity as well, you know, but this just, it's all because of the race, because we're behind in the race before the play. So we just bring it down and push the 2 to the 1. And it's all to do with the race. So if we bring this one back here and we put ourselves as in the other position, then we know that we played, say, 5-4, 5-2, because that puts us 10 pips up in front of the race. So that is all the positions I have for today. I might just add, though, in all the positions shown, the common theme was the timing of a position. There is no doubt that it helps in your decision making. I hope that this discussion has given you enough to recognise this concept when coming up against similar positions. I thank you for your time. It certainly was fun for me. And it was fun. I'm just sorry that it went a bit overboard, guys, for those that had to go somewhere or already left. But this will be a recording anyway that you'll be able to access at any time and go through it again if you choose to. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mick.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mick. I have to go, so thank you very much for doing that, and stay tuned for next month's Backgammon Sunday. I'm not sure who it's going to be. Does anyone know? No.
I don't
know.
know.
It'll be good anyway.
Yeah.
So thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Mel.
Thank you too, Mel.
Thanks, Mel.
Thanks, Mick. See you guys.
Yeah, no worries, guys. Yeah, thank you all very much. I'm honoured to be able to do this. It's great. I love it.
Good on you, Mick.
Thanks, David. Ola, are you there, Ola?
No, she had to go.
Oh, okay. All right. So I've still got the shared screen, haven't I? Okay.
Yep. I'm just going to stop the streaming.
I'll stop sharing. Yeah, no, thanks, Mel. That was good. I've stopped the share now. Hi, guys. Oh, you're there. Or is that a picture? I think that's a picture.
It's a picture.
Hey, David. How you doing? Hey, Kasha. Hey, guys.
How does one go
Okay,
about?
bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Mel.
Thank you, everyone. It was magnificent for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Sorry, David?
You mentioned that we could get hold of that lesson, Mick.
Yeah, so it's going to go up. It's going to go on probably the World Backgammon Federation page, but it will be able to be accessed. So it was. I mean, like I know it was targeted for. Look, first time I've done it on a lot like this. It was targeted beginners, intermediates. You know,
Yeah.
Was it any good? I mean, like.
Oh no, that was really good, Mick.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it makes us look at things a little
I
differently.
don't recognise those. I don't recognise those as beginners to intermediate. I reckon they're all pretty tough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're very, very tough.
Yeah.
Hopefully they weren't too tough. Then.
Daphne.
Yeah, there was some good stuff in there to learn, Mick.
Yeah, thanks, Tone. Yeah.
What, Tony?
Yeah.
Hey, Dave. Hey,
What did you
Dave.
say then, Tony?
There was some good stuff in there to learn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
thanks, Tone.
For sure.
I
That's
still
right.
like stepping up with that double twos, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
okay.
look, and honestly, when I saw that one first, I thought that was the right play as well. But no, look, the 5 prime is just too solid, and it locks him in too hard. You know what I mean? And like the thing is too that he hasn't made the bar point. So like a lot of times you look at this and you see, oh, if he does this, he's going to do that, and it's going to be really strong for him. But he doesn't do that all the time, though. When he hasn't already done it, you just have to take the position at face value. How it is.
Bill Marchek will step up with the double twos every time.
Yep. Well.
Yeah.
I feel
Actually,
happy if my opponent
And it
doesn't
wouldn't be
step up.
correct. And it wouldn't be correct. But the whole idea was to try to, give people a better understanding of the timing. And some of those, you're right, David. Some of those were a little bit difficult, But I just hope that I presented it in a way where people could understand it, and so if they go over it a few times again, that they'll get it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you got us thinking. Okay, I have to stop the streaming, and to do that, I have to end the meeting for all.
All right, Mel.
Very good.
All right, Mel. Thanks,
Thanks,
man.
Mel.
Yeah, Daph, are you
everybody-
still there, Daph? Are you still there, Daph, or is that just a picture of you?
Yeah,
It's a
I'm
moving
still here.
picture.
No, she's
It's a
still
moving
moving.
picture. Okay. Was that okay for you, Daph? Was it?
Yes, but I agree that it was quite difficult, the positions, but that's good. You got our brains ticking over, and I'm definitely going to watch it again and just think about it again, because there's a lot going on in these positions, and it's real good stuff. Really good
Good on
position.
you, Dav. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, David, you look pretty
Okay,
relaxed
see
there,
you,
buddy.
everyone.
Yeah,
Wow.
Mel. You look pretty
Enjoy the
relaxed
rest
there,
of your
David.
day.